The Swiss National Bioethics Commission has published a position on the care of transgender youth. You can find it online. You can even find it in English online. It's called Medical Treatment for Minors with Gender Dysphoria, Ethical and Legal Considerations. If you're interested in the topic, you should read the full position paper, but I'm going to summarize the recommendations for you. There are 6 recommendations for medical care, 3 recommendations for research, and 3 recommendations for society. The recommendations for medical care are that high-quality interdisciplinary care and counseling must be assured. Treatment decisions should be individualized. They should be based on medical indication. There are risks and benefits to many of the aspects of treatment, and these have to be weighed in the light of individual circumstances. 3, there should be no proxy consent for irreversible body-modifying treatments. So you need to be capable of decision-making. The patient needs to be capable of decision-making and make their own decision. They do not have to be adults, though. Decision-making capacity should be enough. Puberty blockers, by the way, are not irreversible body-modifying treatments. They can be initiated before decision-making capacity kicks in, provided the patient wants them, of course. 4, the decision-making has to be shared decision-making. The right of the individual concerned to participate in decisions regarding their own care is not dependent on age or capacity, and it's protected as a human right. 5th, pathologizing of the people concerned should be avoided when it's possible. So, for example, pre-pubertal children who do not need any medical care, they might just need psychosocial support. They don't need a diagnosis. And 6, if necessary, institutional clinical ethics committees should be available to help in such situations. Now, the 3 recommendations for research. The first is that existing gaps in research should be identified and closed. We should do research to close those gaps. The second recommendation for research, though, is that the fact that there are things we don't know is not reason enough to block access to treatment. We don't do that in any other area of medicine. There is no justification for a double standard in the knowledge requirements here. And 3, in further research, elements of the social context, social factors have to be taken into account in studies of the effectiveness and safety of treatments, because social factors play a big role in there. And now the 3 recommendations for society. Gender needs to be understood as a graded spectrum. Most people, many people at least, will recognize themselves at the extremes of that spectrum. But that does not give anyone the right to deny the right to exist to people who live on other parts of that spectrum. Second, social recognition of a specific gender identity should not demand body-modifying treatments. No one should be required to undergo body-modifying interventions in order to have their personality recognized. And finally, public outrage over this issue harms the people concerned, and it jeopardizes evidence-based medical care. Perhaps at this point you have tons of questions. If you do, go read the full position, come back, comment, we can have a talk.